Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sid. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and if you're not, I hope you're taking really great care of yourself. This week, A-level results came out in the UK. Everyone kind of knows what kind of university they're going to in the fall, and people are starting to pack and get ready to move away to university. I've been seeing all the videos on my Instagram and on my TikTok, so I thought I would share my advice for those international students moving abroad about what to pack and maybe what not to pack. Let's just get right into it. These are going to be a little bit of like should and shouldn'ts and like do and don'ts. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm Canadian. I go to a university in the UK. This is now my third year and my final year going to this university, so I'm kind of been around the block a few times, so I know what to pack. So I'm going to do some shoulds first. My number one biggest thing I can recommend bringing to university, and this isn't necessarily just even for international students, I think this is for everyone, and it is medication. This is some like cold, cough, and flu. And when I say medication, I don't necessarily mean prescription medication, although you should definitely bring that to uni, but freshers flu is so real. I get taken out by it every year, and I feel like when you're sick, you're just so weak and unmotivated. You don't want to walk all the way into town to get some cold meds, and I know especially where I go to university, I find the shops in town sell out of cold meds sometimes, so if you're really sick and everyone gets sick around the same time, it's definitely good to bring some stuff with you. So I recommend bringing some stuff like cold and flu, allergies, painkillers, like headache stuff, and some sleep aids, especially because you're going to be sleeping in a new environment where it might be louder or quieter than what you're used to. I would bring that, all that kind of stuff, so that you're prepared should you get sick or have an allergic reaction, have trouble sleeping at night, that kind of stuff, you know? For my second should is some toiletries. So I recommend bringing stuff like lotion, perfumes, body wash, hair care stuff from home, especially if you're an international student and a sensitive skin girly like I am, because I have skin that if I use a new product, I can break out in hives from like basically chin to foot, and that's not great. So I always recommend bringing a little bit of stuff just so you have it and you don't risk having an allergic reaction, because I have been there, done that. It is not great. But when I say some toiletries, I don't mean all toiletries, which brings me to my first shouldn't, which is, sorry, I have all like my stuff on the floor, is stuff you know you can get where you're moving away to university. So I'm using CeraVe as an example because this is the face cream I use. I would recommend getting online, browsing around, seeing if the brands you use are available where you go to university, so you don't move over with like big honking bottles that will take up so much room in your suitcase. You know, you can get them there. It may be more expensive there, but I think this is one thing that's almost kind of good to splurge on to save some room in your suitcases, because I know my first year at university, I came over with like huge bottles of like all my face wash and makeup and hair stuff, and I realized I could get a lot of it in the UK, and I was like, wow, I wasted like half a suitcase on this stuff. Awesome. The third item you should bring from home is small snacks or meals that are easy to prepare. I bring a lot of granola bars with me because the UK granola bars just aren't as good as North American granola bars. I also bring pastas with me, but I take the flavor packets out and leave the pasta at home because I can get pasta in the UK, and I just bring the flavor packets with me, so I have those ready to go. I think these are really great when you're homesick and you can just have a little taste of home, and it's really fun to introduce some of your friends to snacks you can only get at home. And one of the first things I talk about when I meet other North American international students at uni is how much UK instant mac and cheese is just garbage and tastes so bad, and it's really good when you first move into housing, especially if you're moving into somewhere that is self-catered. You'll have food ready to go when you move in. You don't have to like move in and then go to the grocery store because you will be exhausted. Alright, I've been doing a lot of shoulds. I feel like I should do shouldn't. I have a list obviously on my phone. Like I say in every video, see me looking down, I'm looking at the list on my phone. My first, or I guess my second shouldn't, is lots of school supplies and large school supplies. I promise you can find that stuff in the UK, and you can probably find it for really cheap. You do not need to move over with like huge binders and notebook, and like pens and pencils I can kind of get with because they're small, and like I'm picky about pens and pencils, so like that I understand. I really recommend, if you're an international student moving to digital note taking as fast as you can, if you have the money to buy stuff. I have my iPad for school that I'm obsessed with, and I take all my notes and they're with me wherever I go, and I can just shove this in a tote bag and I'm good for class. Where I used to be like going through my notebooks and my binders and being like, oh, what classes do I have today, and shoving those into a bag and running off to class, and then when I'd come home at the holidays having to bring all those books with me. It was not efficient. If you can move to digital note-taking as an international student, I really recommend it. If you can't, I just wouldn't move over with a ton of school supplies, because you can purchase them in the UK and they're going to take up so much of your suitcase. So I just should is having a VPN. Now, this is not going into a whole, this video is sponsored by whatever VPN service. This is honestly just my advice, because a lot of my favorite shows just aren't on UK Netflix, and sometimes you want to watch shows that you're used to. I really recommend getting a VPN where you can access streaming services or just content you can't access in wherever you're going to study. You can introduce your friends to your shows. A lot of the time I use VPNs to watch hockey games because I am a stereotypical Canadian. Yeah, I don't know, I would just really recommend it. Alright, now we're gonna move back to another shouldn't, and I do not recommend moving with big coats, like big winter coats. Again, they just take up so much of your suitcase, and I just don't think it's worth it. There's a lot of budget-friendly shops in the UK, like H&M, Primark, ASOS. You can buy stuff online. You can buy one secondhand. Look on Depop, look on Vinted, look on eBay. Don't have to buy one brand new. Go to charity shops. So if you go to schools like Durham, Oxford, or Cambridge, a lot of people buy like college puffers, and I think they're really cute. Do that kind of stuff rather than bringing over a huge coat. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend. Another item that is a should is tote bags. This one is from the Waterstones in Piccadilly in London. This one is just a Waterstones London tote bag, because in the UK, when you go grocery shopping, if you need a plastic bag, you have to pay for it. And it really adds up over the term, and I wouldn't, it's just not very eco-friendly. It's not very cost-effective. You can use them to take your groceries. You can use them on just like days out walking around the town. You can use them for classes. And maybe you'll find some really cute ones where you go to uni and you can buy yourself a new tote bag as a treat, or even make yourself your own tote bag. This is one I crocheted myself. I would definitely recommend moving some tote bags, and they're also really small and they don't take up a ton of room in your suitcase, so I don't see why you shouldn't. Right, for another shouldn't is moving with electrical items, especially ones that involve like cooking or heat. It's just too risky. I really don't think it's a good idea to be using power adapters and then plugging items that involve heat into them. That sounds like you're asking for a fire. It takes up a ton of room in your bag, is also dangerous. You can buy that kind of stuff there and could potentially violate your lease. I would definitely look in charity shops or on Amazon or whatever for those kinds of items. Don't move with electrical items. This may seem like common logic to some people, but the amount of times it was mentioned in like moving in documents and on my lease and just in general information about the building I'm moving into next year makes me think that it's like a problem that people move over with electrical like stuff. So I just wanted to point it out. These next two shouldn'ts I really should have combined with the one before about electrical items, but it is large homeware items and lots of power adapters. I just don't see the point. A lot of it you can buy in the UK. I understand the sentimentality of it. A few yours might be a few homeware items from home that you want to bring with you to make your space at uni feel a lot more comfortable. I know if I could bring all of my vines and posters and blankets and stuffies from home, I would, but I can't. I think it almost makes the items feel more special when you can have a select few of them when you're away at school than basically trying to replicate home away at school. It's just gonna feel different. There's no way you can replicate the feeling of being at home when you're away at school, and I think it's gonna feel funny going towards those two spaces. I always say I feel like there's two versions of me. There's like a Canadian Sydney and a UK Sydney, and I think that's kind of reflected in what I choose to bring with me between those two spaces. Also, a lot of electrical adapters. I would buy like laptop charger, phone charger, I don't know what other kind of electrical stuff you'd bring. Buy that kind of stuff in the UK and move back and forth with the chargers rather than constantly using adapters, because it's just one more thing to carry around. I already struggled to bring my laptop charger with me to the library, so never mind remembering to bring a like separate adapter. I would not be able to remember both of those. If you can, good for you. A big thing for me is making my packing as efficient as possible and like making my daily life in the UK and in Canada as efficient as possible, and I don't think using a ton of power adapters makes my life terribly efficient, so I don't use it. This next should is actually kind of life changing, and it is to move with a full electric toothbrush. Mine has not been used in a few months. It looks a little funny, but this is my toothbrush. I love this thing. I love having an electric toothbrush. My mouth just feels so much cleaner with it, and this one is so small and it's just battery operated. I don't have to worry about plugging it in. So convenient to travel with, even when I'm moving between Canada and the UK or when I'm traveling about. It's really hygienic because it comes with its own case, and I don't have to go out and buy a toothbrush and buy another case for it, or buy a toothbrush that I like travel with and then have another electrical toothbrush in the UK. I just have one in Canada, and I have this little guy that goes like back and forth with me, and I think I got this on Prime Day for like 15 or 20 bucks, and I love it. Would recommend. One more thing, I forgot there was one more, shouldn't, is lots of luxury items. I just don't like bringing lots of like luxury items, like this YSL handbag I have. This stays at home. Mostly just on nights out. I don't trust it to get ruined, going out and someone stealing it, or moving back and forth with it, losing luggage getting damaged, and this getting damaged. I don't know, just the thought of bringing luxury goods with me makes me very nervous. And at the end of the day, I don't think luxury goods really, like, I'm not gonna look at someone in the lecture and go,
oh, they have a Gucci backpack, like I need to be their friend.
I'm gonna go, they have a Gucci backpack, cool. Like, if people want to hang out with you and be around you, it's not gonna be because of the backpack you have or the sneakers you have or the hoodie you have. It's gonna be because you're a cool person. And if people are just hanging out with you because you have like these like flex luxury items, it's kind of stuff gets wrecked at uni too. I wouldn't bring like nice stuff with you because it is just gonna get ruined. Two things that you should pack with you. Number one is physical and digital copies of all your documents. I know when I pass the border into the UK, I have to have all my acceptance letters, all the letters that say what course I'm in, my letters that say I have a student visa, my actual physical BRP card, my Canadian passport, all that kind of stuff. It was like having both printed out and digital copies of these documents in case anything happened. If I like, I don't know, spilled water all over myself and my documents were ruined, or battery died on my phone or my iPad, just so you have backup copies, keeping those documents saved on like a cloud, and so you have those copies when you're away at school. I know I had to do an identity check with my school, and they had to also double check that I had all of my visa and documentation. Just as an international student, it's like making sure you have those backup copies, whether your backup is digital or your backup is a hard copy of those documents when you're going through the border. Just, you don't want to mess up. You put all that work into studying and all that work into applying and getting into this university. It would really suck if you got stopped at the border because there was something wrong with your documents and you just couldn't go. So to end this on a positive note, we're gonna end this on the last thing you should bring to uni with you, and this is a lifesaver. And this goes for both international and national, local, home students. It is this travel cable case. I saw these all over TikTok and I was kind of intrigued, so I got one on Prime Day and I love it. It just puts all your cables in it like that, and they're all organized. But I just find it so much easier, and it takes up so much less space, and my cables don't get all ruined and tangled and just a train wreck in my bag. I just have a handy dandy little case that all fits in, and you know where everything's supposed to be, and it's just so much easier, and you don't lose anything, and it's just amazing. So that's all, in my opinion, you should and shouldn't pack to move to university. Most of the video applies to both home and international students. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like or comment. If you'd like to see me do a part 2, or if you have questions about stuff maybe you want to move to university with, leave them in the comment section and I will get right back to you. At the time of filming this, I have 217 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 500 by the end of 2023. So you can also subscribe to me while you're liking and commenting. I would really appreciate it. If you don't want to subscribe to me today, that's no big deal. I hope I will see you again soon. And now time for the end of video tradition. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I have a new water bottle, also absolutely coated in stickers. Hopefully this one will not break or I will not lose it. I love this one, to be honest. It is not a Stanley, it is a knockoff I got at Winners, but it does the job. So at the end of every video, we take a sip of our waters or whatever beverage we have near us, and we stay happy, we stay healthy, and we are kind to other people, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.